The nice thing about an expandable booth for this little truck, we're only out 20 feet instead of the usual 24. So this is a truck we did about 5-6 years ago. Looks good. Paint held up okay, but we had a couple issues. We had never touched the rockers on this. We did a little work on the corner on the other side. This side had never been touched. We ended up with a hole right up here. So we ended up making a new chunk, welding it on, and we tried to put our gravel guard to match the gravel guard that's already there, so we should be able to blend that in. No one will ever know it was touched. We also did new door handles. This one was broken, so we bought a kit off the Jungle Store, replaced both sides. Now I did notice this particular set, they were 26 bucks Canadian plus tax. But there's plastic under here that's thin that breaks, where these ones, it gets real fat. So these might actually be better, and they fit okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I'm sure the rubbers aren't rubber, they're probably like a plastic, they feel weird. So are the factory ones, but I mean, maybe they dry out and only last 5-10 years or whatever. But this is, well, 5 years ago we had replaced it. He said he'd replaced it before. So this is the third, if not the fourth time we've put handles on this truck. And look, some people are gentle, some people just kind of grab it. This guy works hard, runs around. He probably pulls it pretty hard every time he opens it. So the truck otherwise held up pretty well. But we knew there'd be problems with the box because this box was in bad shape and we didn't guarantee the box whatsoever. And this is why. So the reason you see this up here and all this blistering up in this area, there's a new chunk of metal welded in here all the way across and then down. There's a second piece of metal that comes out here, and we ran right down through here and then down at the bottom, I think that whole panel, or at least that much of it. Yeah, we did that much of it, and then the whole bottom edge of one of these back panels. So everywhere where we replaced all the metal, you'll see there's a little bump actually right there. Oh, a little bit of chipping right there. There's a little spot here where this new metal lapped that metal. Should have body worked that out a little bit. Our panel wasn't quite as round as you can see here, but you know, it was pretty good for what we had. Because yeah, I think it was this side, that whole bottom might have been replaced from there down or something like that. But what we replaced, and it came here, went into the gas door here, and then it came just in this line, and it basically ran straight down and all the way down to the bottom, because that whole bottom section was gone. But what we didn't fix is this little alcove in here, and you can see how it's rusted. Now what's happening is it's the back side, has 2 layers of metal there, as well as up here, and it's just rotting from the back side out. So only way to fix that is to come up here, cut this right out, put a big chunk of metal in there. So I'm going to ask the owner if he wants to do that or if he wants to leave it. The main thing is we had a bit of work to do, but that was, you can't have a hole in your rocker, you know, legally where we live, so that's all we wanted to fix there. The idea when we did this truck 5-6 years ago was let's try to get about 5 years out of it, which he got. But it still works good, so he's hoping we can, you know, keep driving it for a while. So we're just fixing what we have to. Now this side isn't too bad. We got one area blistering up here, so we could probably come, I think here we have new metal running like so. And, you know, you'd probably have to cut a pretty big chunk out to fix that as well. But this side wasn't as bad as the other side. Mind you, on this side we did have to fix this whole lower chunk down here. And you can kind of see where this one doesn't have a perfect flare. It kind of goes straight and then in and out. It's not something most people would notice, but I remember making that now. I actually did this side first, and then I did the other side a little better because we had to go bigger. Yeah. It's kind of cool to see how your stuff turns out years later and many years later and stuff. Now this truck wasn't restored. It was a repaint on the cab. I think we had to replace a big chunk of metal down here. The rockers and stuff hadn't been touched. The other side, the rockers weren't touched whatsoever, and it finally come through. The problem with these Toyotas, I find, when they hit a certain age, is they do rust from the inside out. Now, we couldn't buy fenders for this truck because the TRD off-road was different. So I believe the regular bumper worked, but we did have to paint it and put all the stuff on it. The regular fenders we sent back because they were different and these plastics weren't made to go on. It's a whole different shape. So we ended up cutting, I think, from the corner up through here and down. We basically made those on each side, welded them on, filled them in, and same with these. They're all kind of patched and pieced together. Floor of the box. Now this floor was solid but had holes in weird places, and I believe there was 12 or 14 places where we had to weld up the box. I think we rebuilt the bottom of the tailgate. And that held up just fine. I think we have a skin that comes up to here, and we cut and butt the edge and then lapped it. So as long as you don't hit it, it'll be all right. It held up fine. Now the back bumper for these trucks are basically unobtainium. So this is actually a normal bumper off of a regular truck, and this actually would have come straight across and went around. And what we had to do is cut the ends off and put little metal towers so we could mount these on the towers to line up with this. And it turned out pretty good. That's just a big plastic corner. So what Toyota was doing at the factory was just cutting off their bumpers, and it's basically, it looks like a little metal table that's just riveted to the top of the bumper, and all this plastic has little holes and it clips into it. So yeah, so that's the only bumper we could get. Instead of sending it back and doing no bumper, as soon as I saw it, I realized what Toyota had done. So they're TRD off-road guys, the research and development, whatever you want to call them. I guess it's that. That's what they did with these. They just cut a regular bumper and did this treatment to it. And don't get me wrong, they're a great looking little truck. Could this be restored? Well, this was one of those trucks where the frame should have been replaced. They were under warranty, and I mentioned it at the time. And the owner said, maybe I'll do it, and he never did it. I don't know if you can get these frames anymore, but this one is, it's not great. It is a 2002 truck, so it is what it is. But 300,000 on it, V6 automatic. You turn the key, fires right up. This truck actually works extremely well. Well, it looks like he's going to be needing a windshield. I'm pretty sure we'd put a new one in, well, 5 years ago, right? So, but at any rate, the booth being only at 20 feet is enough to do this job here. In fact, because of where that's located, we probably shoot it with the stuff open and just airbrush it in. But we'll probably tape it off. That way our metallic all looks the same. I can't remember the name of the, oh, Indigo Red? Impulse Red. I got about that much paint left in here, and I've had that in storage since we did this truck 5-6 years ago. In fact, I haven't used Omni paint since then. I go direct to a body shop supplier now, but yeah, we have it. We'll use it. And the nice thing is it'll be exactly the same color, minus a little bit of fade. Anyway, that's our video for today, just to let you know what I was doing. Haven't uploaded in a while. Thanks for watching. Cheers.